GURPS characters. Now this is another general topic, another little chit chat about creating characters in GURPS. How often do we play a game where we get to choose between which class we want to play? And you find once you start digging into it, you start feeling a little bit limited because you've got this fun character concept that you wanted to roll with. I wanted to play a fighter who's got a bit of a thief bent to his background, and so maybe he's got pickpockets fairly high skill, but otherwise he's a fighter. Okay, something like that, or maybe something more exotic. Maybe I'm a thief or a fighter with clerical abilities. Well, I guess that would be a paladin now, wouldn't it? Anyways, often you come up with a combination or some things that you want to take from another class. You either do a multi-class dip, as they like to say in Pathfinder, or something similar to that. But in GURPS, you've got a master list of skills and advantages that you can choose from, and you're free to mix and match anything with anything as long as you have the points to pay for it. So for instance, your fighter would have most of his character points. It's a point by system. GURPS is you don't roll your attributes or anything like that. A fighter would have all his points mostly tied up in combat skills and strength and dexterity. His ability to hit stuff and hit stuff hard is what he wants. And so on, depending on the class. Now, because everything's wide open in GURPS, you often want to limit your character's choices for them a bit and kind of almost impose classes on them. Now, the way GURPS does classes, though, is a little differently. It's called a class template, and all you're doing is effectively going through the skill and advantage lists and just listing what skills and advantages would match which class. And then from then on, a character can take those advantages, or not. It's kind of like just a starting package. So I've done that for my fantasy game that I've started. I've got, I think I've got 12 character classes, the usual suspects: druid, ranger, monk, fighter, cleric, thief, paladin, ranger, magic user, bard, that kind of stuff. Now, in GURPS, my characters would come along and be like, okay, today I'm thinking I want to play like a cleric type character, so I'll hand them this. This is the cleric template. You can download this as usual. Link will be in the description. And this gives all the traits, kind of, Game Master's already done the work. Don't mind the I think that's old D&D artwork. That's just for flavor. We're not charging for this stuff. Use at your own for your own purposes there. There's the fighter. So the character, when you're making your character, you'd start with the cleric template. In my game, I'm giving all the characters 100 character points to build their quote level 1 PCs, and this is the stuff. These are the traits and skills that a cleric would typically start with. They are free to mix and match, drop any of these. I can sink extra points into these, but to start with this basic package of the cleric, it will cost 38 points of their 100 points. They can take the rest of the points and sink them into these and, customize. They can take additional skills by any means, any skill they want. Maybe they want to throw on, hidden lore or something like that. That would be actually not that crazy for a cleric. Maybe they want martial arts. Maybe they know kung fu. Sink some skill points into that. Whatever you want, you can have in GURPS. GURPS does not force people into niches. You are free to spend your points how you want. You can spread as thin as you want, but the point economy, you will always pay for it if you spread too thin. If that's what you want to be a jack of all trades, master of none, by all means go ahead, and you will be useful in the group. But you may get frustrated that you're not the best at anything in the group. But that's for the player to decide, and that's the beauty of GURPS to me. It is also, we have found very intriguing and fun to play these characters. We often start with very low-level characters at 25 points, and we don't typically, you can't afford one of these templates. We kind of end up playing peasants. It's my randos to heroes games. And we kind of started as low-level character point peasants with not many skills at all. But the beauty is, because of the master skill and advantage system is always available to anybody, you can really watch your characters grow this way, which is a lot of fun. There's no leveling up and sifting through feat trees or certain paths trying to get this or that so you can someday get all the prerequisites to get that feat that you've wanted for the last 3 levels. GURPS doesn't really work like that. You can get pretty well anything right from the get-go, but the amount of points is always the limiting factor. So you won't be able to probably be that great at whatever it is you want to aspire to someday. There are sometimes a requirement for the game master to impose limitations, because if you can make pretty unbalanced characters if you really wanted. Say you had 100 points and you sunk all of your points into magery advantage. You would be one seriously powerful magic user, and does that match the level 1 kind of play power level? The game master might want to step in there. So it is possible to kind of, quote, break the game during character creation if your game master is giving free reign. But also, again, to a certain extent, if you sink all your points into one thing, you will be limited. You're a one-trick pony, and as soon as the game master doesn't cater to you and keep giving you those situations to just mop everybody up with, you will be useless. There's so many different avenues to go down with GURPS. It's got such a rich and detailed combat and magic system that you never run out of places to spend your skill points, it seems. There's always more spells. There's always more weapons to master and sink more points in. There's always more dexterity or strength to buy up. And for heaven's sakes, the hit point situation. You can never have enough hit points in GURPS, it seems. Although there's no upper limit, rules as written to hit points, the typical human, if you want to stay somewhere within the realm of reality for a human, your hit points shouldn't really ever get past 20. But different strokes for different folks. That's up to the GM. If you want to roll with a high fantasy epic level campaign, then let those hit points and skill levels just skyrocket and get beyond the typical reality numbers. And that's where a lot of the fun comes in. Anyways, that's how I like to roll with my GURPS fantasy games and my template classes. Link is available in the description if you're interested in seeing some of my character classes. Feel free to take and modify and use as you like, and roll on.